All right, welcome to Intelligent Core Training. This is going to be the first video in a series I'm going to do to try and help you wade through the cesspit that is online health and fitness media and try and kind of work out, okay, how do I train my core, right? So if you haven't watched my video on core bracing, it's in the highlights up the top. Go there first, watch that, learn how to activate all that stuff, and then come back here and we'll show you how to use it. So I've seen a heap of people posting kickback, like glute booty type workout stuff this week on my feed, and it's driving me nuts, man. There are a lot of people that are butchering it and then teaching it to their followings in a way that is terrible, right? It's not going to do you much good for your ass, and also you're going to wind up your low back and your core and irritate it while you're there. So what I'm talking about is something like this. So let's go through the basics of the bird dog, the 4-point kneel, the kneeling kickback, right? So how we're going to start. I need you to jump onto all fours. Cool. From here we go through our cat camel. So we tuck hips under, we go back the other way, stick our ass right out, do our best influencer. Cool. From there, find your middle position. That's going to look different for everybody. We have different length levers, different body types. Wherever you can sit comfortably there. I'm about here. We want to take our chin and tuck it so we're nice and long through our spine, right? This is our starting position. What I see a lot of is this. See how my low back comes into that really big arch, that sway back? That's no good, man. That's absolutely trash. What I need you to do, use that core brace we've talked about a couple of times, bring it on, right? And then stay rock solid and rigid through your low back while we move an arm and a leg. So to start with, what it's going to look like for most of us is this. Set up here, we breathe in, we activate that core brace, and then all we're going to do is we're going to push down with an opposite arm and leg, and then we're just going to take one arm and leg off the floor. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. We're going to come back down, okay? That's where I need you to start. Right, is just a 10-second hold with just an arm and a leg off the floor. Cool? If that's easy and you can do that both sides with no problems whatsoever, then and only then we can start to push our range, right? Now, how do I know if I'm doing it right? Exactly how I know I'm doing it right now. Set your camera up with it on selfie mode, your phone up with it on selfie mode, so that you can watch it back. Cool? Let's say we can do 3 sets of 10 on either side, just lifting an arm and a leg, just out in front, just off the floor a tiny bit. Cool? All right, hectic. Tom, that's way too easy. I can do that now. How do I make it harder? Your arm and your leg are the resistance in this scenario, so the further away from you they get, the harder they're going to be to control. So from there, we're going to come into that 4-point kneeling position, set up, make yourself comfortable, chin comes back, core brace comes on. Then we can start to send arm and leg all the way out and back down. Then we can change opposite arm and leg all the way out, back down. You'll see that my back stays smooth and there's a lovely flat angle there. That's what we need to do. We can't be having this. Okay, let's say we want to make it we want to turn it into a kickback type exercise where we're loading it up, we're trying to get some glute activation. Cool, from there, we set up, our core brace comes in, and then we send one foot back. We can kick back, we can put an ankle weight on there and kick back. What you're going to find is that in that position, if you stabilize your spine, you keep your back on and keep that back flat, your butt has to work way harder. You're going to get way more out of it. Stop bowing through your back. Stop letting your core at the front get soft and lazy and getting into that sway back posture and throwing your hip around in the air behind you. It's not training your butt as well as you want it to. It's not training your core either. Change it up. Let's focus on getting both of those things right and training them both at the same time. I'm going to talk you through how to make that an exercise for glutes as well. But we need to understand, I need you to get you to the point where you can stabilize well there first with your hand and foot or your hand and knee just off the floor. but also with your arm and your leg right out in front of you before we start to add load and make that a butt exercise. Cool?